Did you know that starting March 1st, hundreds of older travelers are being turned away at Canadian airports? And it's all because of something as simple as their passport. That's right. Despite years of traveling, many are now facing unexpected rejections at the border. It's not about missing paperwork, but a new rule that has caught countless seniors off guard. Imagine this. You've booked your dream trip, your bags are packed, and you're ready to go, only to find out that your passport isn't valid for entry. It's happening, and many travelers are left standing at the gate with nowhere to go. Why is this happening now? What has changed so suddenly? Stick around to uncover 10 shocking reasons why seniors are being rejected and how you can avoid falling into this March 1st passport trap. Trust me, you won't want to risk missing out on your trip. Number 1. Passport expiry date confusion. If you think your passport is still good to go, think again. One of the most common reasons why seniors are being rejected at Canadian airports is passport expiry confusion. Travelers often overlook a critical detail. Your passport must be valid for at least 6 months beyond your planned arrival date in Canada. This simple rule is often forgotten, but it can lead to major issues at the border. You might think your passport is perfectly fine because it's not technically expired, but Canada requires that extra 6-month cushion to ensure your travel goes smoothly. For many older travelers, this is a real shock. They arrive at the airport only to be told that their passport doesn't meet the requirements, despite it being valid for a few more months. Imagine getting all the way to the airport, ready to board, only to be stopped at the gate because of a tiny detail you missed. It's frustrating and can ruin your entire trip. Many travelers have been caught by this new rule, and it's creating confusion at immigration counters. Here's what you need to do to avoid this disaster. Check your passport's expiration date carefully before booking your flight. Make sure it's valid for at least 6 months beyond your intended arrival date in Canada. If it's close to expiring, renew it now to save yourself from any last-minute surprises. Don't let a small mistake like this cause major delays or even prevent you from entering the country altogether. Planning ahead can make all the difference and save you a lot of stress on your trip. Did you know about this passport rule before watching this video? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. It takes just one click, and we put a lot of effort into bringing you these valuable tips. Number 2. Visa-free countries restrictions. If you're from a visa-free country, you might assume you're good to go without any extra paperwork. However, there's a major catch that's surprising many older travelers, the ETA requirement. While some countries have visa-exempt status for Canadian entry, this doesn't mean you're free from the hassle of extra documentation. Starting March 1st, all travelers, including seniors, need to apply for an ETA, electronic travel authorization, if they're coming to Canada without a traditional visa. The issue? Many older travelers are unaware of this requirement, and they're being rejected at the airport when they can't show proof of their approved ETA. What's even more frustrating is that this process is entirely online, meaning it's simple to complete, but many people overlook it. Some travelers mistakenly think they can simply show up at the border and that's it, but without the ETA approval, you could be denied entry. It's causing massive delays, especially at airports where officials are stopping people and sending them back home. A simple online application that takes just a few minutes to complete could save you from missing your flight, but many seniors are caught off guard and turned away because they didn't know this simple step was required. To avoid this mistake, always remember, no matter where you're from, if you're traveling visa-free, you still need an ETA to enter Canada. It's fast, it's easy, and it's crucial for avoiding rejection. Apply for your ETA online well ahead of your trip and confirm that you've received approval before you leave for the airport. It might seem like a small step, but it could make a huge difference in your travel experience. Have you had any issues with the ETA requirement before? Share your experiences in the comments. And remember, subscribing is just one click, and we put in a lot of effort to keep you informed with the best tips. Number 3. The lack of a return ticket. You might be surprised to learn that not having a return ticket could be one of the reasons you're denied entry into Canada, especially for older travelers. Many travelers, particularly seniors, don't realize the importance of showing proof that they plan to leave Canada. Immigration officers are strict about this rule. Without a return ticket or proof of departure, they may view you as intending to stay longer than allowed, leading to a denial of entry. This is one of the most overlooked but critical steps when traveling to Canada. It might seem like a minor detail. After all, you're just visiting for a short time, so why would it matter? However, Canada's immigration laws are very specific, and not having a clear plan to leave the country can raise suspicion. Officers want to see that you have a set date to return to your home country to ensure you are complying with visa rules. Without that evidence, you could be sent back before you even leave the airport, which is a major inconvenience and disappointment for any traveler, especially older ones who might not be as familiar with the system. So, what can you do to avoid this? Always make sure you have a return ticket when you book your flight to Canada. It's one of the easiest ways to avoid delays and rejections at the border. If you're not sure about your exact plans, it's a good idea to book a flexible ticket or have proof of your departure arrangements from the country, even if it's not a firm date. This small step could be the difference between a smooth entry and a frustrating rejection. Have you ever been caught off guard by this return ticket requirement? Drop a comment and let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe. We put in a lot of effort to bring you valuable tips, and it only takes one click. Number 4. Proof of sufficient funds. When traveling to Canada, having proof of sufficient funds can make or break your trip, especially for seniors. It may sound like a simple requirement, but it's a common reason for rejection at the border. Canada wants to ensure that travelers have enough money to cover their stay, whether it's for accommodation, food, or emergencies. Without this proof, you may find yourself turned away, even if you planned everything else down to the finest details. For many, the issue arises when they fail to prepare adequate documentation that shows they can support themselves during their stay. Bank statements, proof of income, or even a letter from a sponsor are all accepted forms of evidence. But many seniors overlook the importance of carrying this proof, thinking they can handle things once they arrive in Canada. The truth is, Canadian immigration officers are very strict when it comes to financial security. They want to know you won't be relying on Canadian resources or overstaying because of financial hardship. To avoid this issue, always make sure you have up-to-date bank statements or sponsor letters with you. If you're traveling for a long period, having a more detailed plan on how you will support yourself, like prepaid accommodation, can help ensure a smooth entry. Carrying this simple documentation will help you avoid unnecessary delays and keep you in the good graces of immigration officers, ensuring your dream trip goes off without a hitch. Ever had to prove your financial standing at the border? Let us know how it went in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. We're putting a lot of work into bringing you this info, and subscribing takes just one click. Number 5. Travel insurance issues. Travel insurance is something many older travelers overlook when heading to Canada, but it's one of the biggest reasons seniors are being rejected at the airport. It may seem like an optional extra, but Canada requires all visitors to have proof of emergency medical insurance for the duration of their stay. Without it, you could be denied entry, regardless of how well-planned your trip is. If you're over 65, this requirement is even more critical, as travel insurance helps protect you in case of illness, injury, or unexpected medical emergencies while abroad. The problem arises when travelers don't fully understand what's required. Some people assume their regular health insurance covers them internationally, but it may not. Canadian border officials want to see that you're financially protected in case anything goes wrong during your stay. They also want to ensure that you won't end up relying on Canada's healthcare system if something happens to you. This is why many seniors are caught off guard. They might not realize their health insurance is not sufficient for international travel, or they fail to bring proof of their coverage. To avoid getting rejected, ensure you have adequate travel insurance that covers health emergencies and evacuation, if necessary. Many insurance providers offer specific travel plans for seniors, so it's worth checking the details before booking your trip. Carry a copy of your policy with you when you travel and make sure you can show it at the border. Having proper coverage in place ensures you won't run into any unexpected surprises and can enjoy your trip without worry. Have you ever been caught off guard by insurance issues when traveling? Share your experience in the comments. And remember, subscribing takes just one click, and we work hard to bring you the best tips. Number 6. Outdated information on the passport. An often overlooked issue that's causing confusion for many older travelers is having outdated information in their passports. Many seniors are still using passports that contain old visa stamps or information that no longer applies, which can create significant problems at the Canadian border. If your passport has outdated or invalid stamps, Or if the information in it isn't clear, it can raise red flags with immigration officers, leading to rejection or delays. What's even more frustrating is that this is something most travelers don't think about. If your passport is more than 10 years old, it may be time for an update. Even though the passport might still look valid, if it contains outdated information or old visas that no longer apply, it could cause complications when trying to enter Canada. Border officials often look for the most recent and valid documentation, and anything that seems out of place in your passport could get you flagged for additional scrutiny or even denied entry altogether. So, what should you do to avoid this? It's simple. Renew your passport if it's older than 10 years or if it contains outdated information. Make sure that your passport is up to date with accurate details. And if you've had any previous immigration issues, it's worth taking a closer look at what's in your passport before you travel. Taking the time to ensure that your travel document is current and clean can save you from being stopped at the border or sent back home before you even get to enjoy your vacation. Ever had issues with outdated passport information? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. It takes just one click, and we work hard to bring you valuable travel tips. Number 7. Problems with the electronic travel authorization. One of the most common pitfalls for senior travelers is failing to apply for the Electronic Travel Authorization or ETA before heading to Canada. While this online application process is quick and straightforward, many travelers mistakenly believe that they don't need it, especially if they are from a visa-exempt country. The truth is, starting March 1st, all travelers, including those 65 and over, are required to have an approved ETA to board a flight to Canada. Without it, your trip could be in jeopardy. The issue isn't necessarily that the ETA is difficult to obtain, it's just that many older travelers are unaware of this new requirement. Even if your passport is valid and you're from a country that typically doesn't need a visa, the ETA application has become a necessary step. What happens if you forget? You could arrive at the airport, only to be told that your flight to Canada can't proceed because you didn't apply for the ETA. This can lead to frustration, delays, and even the cancellation of your trip. So, how do you avoid this mistake? It's simple. Apply for your ETA well in advance of your trip. The application takes just a few minutes to complete online, and approval is typically granted within minutes, though it's always best to apply at least a week before your flight to ensure everything is processed smoothly. Keep in mind that the ETA is not something you can apply for at the airport or once you're already on your way. Make sure you take this important step to ensure a smooth entry into Canada. Have you had trouble with the ETA application before? Let us know your experience in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. It only takes one click, and we put in a lot of effort to make these videos. Number 8. Inaccurate travel history. One of the hidden reasons seniors are facing rejection at Canadian airports is the inaccuracy or incompleteness of their travel history. Canadian immigration officers scrutinize travel records carefully, and if there are discrepancies, missing information, or outdated details, it can cause red flags. Many travelers, especially seniors, might not realize the importance of having an up-to-date and accurate record of all previous travels, especially if they've been to countries with strict entry requirements or had prior issues with immigration. This problem becomes even more prominent when older travelers forget to mention previous trips or fail to provide the full details requested by Canadian immigration. Even a minor gap in your travel history, like missing a previous visit to another country, can create suspicion. Canadian border officials have access to extensive databases, and they may notice inconsistencies in the details provided on your application or at the time of entry. If the information you provide doesn't match their records, you could face extra questioning, delays, or even denial of entry. To prevent this, make sure to keep a detailed log of your travel history. It's a good idea to have documentation of your past international trips, especially if you had any immigration issues in the past or visited countries that might cause concern. Before your trip to Canada, review your records and ensure that all travel information is correct. Keeping track of all your previous trips will not only help avoid any issues with immigration, but will also make your entry into Canada much smoother and quicker. Have you ever faced issues with your travel history at the border? Share your story in the comments. And remember, subscribing takes just one click, and we put in a lot of effort to bring you valuable travel advice. Number 9. Confusion with COVID-19 protocols. Even though the world is slowly recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic, there's still a lot of confusion surrounding health and safety protocols, especially for senior travelers. Many seniors are still unaware of the latest vaccine requirements, testing protocols, and quarantine regulations that Canada has in place. These rules change frequently, and it's essential to stay updated to avoid being turned away at the airport. Some travelers assume that because restrictions are easing globally, they don't need to worry about health documentation, but Canada still has specific entry requirements that need to be met. The problem lies in the fact that many travelers don't take these protocols seriously enough or don't check the most recent information before heading to the airport. For instance, you might need to show proof of COVID-19 vaccination, a negative test result before departure, or even proof of quarantine arrangements upon arrival, depending on your vaccination status and the latest health advisories. If you're not up to date on these rules, you might find yourself denied entry before you even step foot on the plane. And this can be especially frustrating if you've already made all the other necessary travel arrangements and are unaware of the latest requirements. To avoid being caught off guard, check the official Canadian government website for the most current information on health and entry requirements before you travel. Keep all your documents related to COVID-19 testing, vaccination, or quarantine with you when you travel. It might seem like a hassle, but staying ahead of these rules is vital to ensure your trip goes smoothly. Don't let COVID-19 protocols derail your vacation plans. Have you had any issues with COVID-19 protocols when traveling to Canada? Let us know in the comments. And remember, subscribing is just one click, and we put a lot of effort into creating these helpful tips for you. Number 10. Misunderstanding of the temporary resident requirement. One of the most surprising reasons older travelers are being rejected at Canadian borders is the misunderstanding of the temporary resident requirement. Canada classifies travelers into two main categories: temporary residents and permanent residents. If you're planning to stay in Canada for more than 6 months, you need to prove that you are a temporary resident. This means showing the appropriate documentation and meeting the criteria set out by Canadian immigration. Many seniors are unaware that, even though they're just visiting, they may need to provide additional paperwork to demonstrate that they plan to return to their home country. This confusion can cause major delays and even lead to denial of entry at the border. For instance, travelers who stay in Canada for more than 6 months without proper documentation can be considered overstayers, even if their initial visit was meant to be short-term. This is particularly true for seniors who may not be familiar with the nuances of Canada's immigration system. Without the right paperwork proving that you're only in the country temporarily, it's easy to run into trouble, especially when your stay extends beyond the typical tourist visit. To avoid being caught in this trap, always check the requirements for temporary residency before your trip. If you're planning on staying in Canada for more than 6 months, it's essential to apply for the proper visa or permit. Even if you're just visiting, be prepared to show that your trip has a defined end date and that you are not intending to settle permanently in Canada. This will ensure you meet the temporary resident criteria and can enter Canada without any issues. Were you aware of the temporary resident rule for extended stays? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. It takes just one click, and we put a lot of effort into bringing you the best travel tips. As you can see, the March 1st passport trap is a serious issue for senior travelers, and it's causing a lot of confusion at Canadian airports. Whether it's passport expiration dates, the ETA requirement, or even the need for proof of sufficient funds, these small details can make or break your travel plans. Understanding the entry requirements and preparing in advance can save you from unnecessary stress, delays, and potentially being sent back home before you even get to experience the beautiful country you're visiting. What's important to remember is that planning ahead is key. A little extra time spent checking your passport validity, applying for the ETA, and ensuring you have all the necessary documentation can go a long way. It's easy to assume that everything will go smoothly, but as we've learned, Canada's immigration rules are strict, and any missed requirement can have significant consequences. By following these steps, you'll be able to avoid the common pitfalls that have caught many travelers off guard. Traveling should be about enjoying new experiences and making memories, not about dealing with unnecessary rejections. So, whether it's checking your insurance, ensuring your return ticket is booked, or verifying your travel history, these small actions will ensure your trip to Canada is as seamless and enjoyable as possible. Did you find this video helpful in preparing for your next trip to Canada? Share your thoughts or any tips you've learned in the comments below. We put a lot of effort into creating these videos just for you, So subscribe to our channel. It's just one click, and it helps us continue bringing you the best travel advice.